गौरी पुत्र गणेश भक्ति और कीर्तन करे, दीजिए प्रभु आदेश। सिया राम शिव पार्वती पावन पुत्र हनुमान, ऐसी वाणी दीजिए कहो राम गुण गान। ओम हंस हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि, तन्नो हंस प्रचोदयात्। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। मोरी लागी लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोरी लागी लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोरी लागी लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोरी लागी लगन गुरु चरणन की। चरण बिना मुझे कुछ नहीं भावे, चरण बिना मुझे कुछ नहीं भावे। झूठी माया सब सपनन की, ओ झूठी माया सब सपनन की, मोहे लागे लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोहे लागे लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोहे लागे लगन गुरु चरणन की। भवसागर सब सुख गया है, भवसागर सब सुख गया है, भवसागर सब सुख गया है, भवसागर सब सुख गया है। फिकर नहीं मुझे तरनन की, ओ फिकर नहीं मुझे तरनन की, मोरे लागी लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोरे लागी लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोरे लागी लगन गुरु चरणन की। मीरा के प्रभु गिरधर नागर, मीरा के प्रभु गिरधर नागर, मीरा के प्रभु गिरधर नागर, मीरा के प्रभु गिरधर नागर। उलट भये मोरे नयनन की, ओ उलट भये मोरे नयनन की, मोरे लागे लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोरे लागे लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोरे लागे लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोहे लागे लगन गुरु चरणन की, मोहे लागे लगन गुरु चरणन की। सद्गुरु तुम्हारे प्यार में जीना सिखा दिया, सद्गुरु तुम्हारे प्यार में जीना सिखा दिया, हमको तुम्हारे प्यार में इंसान बना दिया, हमको तुम्हारे प्यार में इंसान बना दिया, सद्गुरु तुम्हारे प्यार में। रहते हैं जलवे आपके नजरों में हर घड़ी, रहते हैं जलवे आपके नजरों में हर घड़ी। मस्ती के ज्ञान का आपने ऐसा पिला दिया, मस्ती का ज्ञान आपने ऐसा पिला दिया, सद्गुरु तुम्हारे प्यार में जीना सिखा दिया, सद्गुरु तुम्हारे प्यार में। तुम हो जगत के दाता, तुम हो जगत के दाता। आओ गुरुदेव दर्शन दीजो, आओ गुरुदेव दर्शन दीजो, तुम हो जगत के दाता, तुम हो जगत के दाता। तुम ही हो ब्रह्मा, तुम ही हो विष्णु, तुम ही हो ब्रह्मा, तुम ही हो विष्णु, तुम ही हो शंकर रूपा, तुम ही हो शंकर रूपा। तुम हो जगत के दाता, तुम हो जगत के दाता। सृष्टि स्थिति लय स्वरूप तुम हो, सृष्टि स्थिति लय स्वरूप तुम हो, तुम हो आनंद रूपा, तुम हो आनंद रूपा। तुम हो जगत के दाता, तुम हो जगत के दाता। आओ गुरुदेव दर्शन दीजो, आओ गुरुदेव दर्शन दीजो, तुम हो जगत के दाता, तुम हो जगत के दाता। अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु, अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु, तुम हो आनंद रूपा, तुम हो आनंद रूपा। तुम हो जगत के दाता, तुम हो जगत के दाता। अज्ञान नाशक शरण संरक्षक, अज्ञान नाशक शरण संरक्षक, आत्मज्ञान प्रदाता, आत्मज्ञान प्रदाता। तुम हो जगत के दाता, तुम हो जगत के दाता। आओ गुरुदेव दर्शन दीजो, आओ गुरुदेव दर्शन दीजो, तुम हो जगत के दाता, तुम हो जगत के दाता, तुम हो जगत के दाता, तुम हो जगत के दाता।
सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय. We join in expressions of welcome this evening.
Good night, everyone. Sitaram, and welcome to the second night of our 3 nights Ramayan Yagna, hosted by Mr. and Mrs. Dhaniram Singh. For those who missed last night, it was actually a very enlightening discourse by officiating Pandit Sudan Sitahat Maharaj. But I don't know about you, I'm looking forward to tonight's discourse. Because not every night I get to sit next to my wife and she turns to me and say, "You look lovely tonight." Have a good night, everyone, and do enjoy this evening's proceedings. Sitaram.
Siyavar Ramchandra ki jai. Kara ho jai Aarti लीजिए. Let us all please stand for the opening Aarti. शुभं करोतु कल्याणम् आरोग्यं सुखसम्पदं मम शत्रु विनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते। Together. सिद्धि बुद्धि प्रदे देवी भुक्ति मुक्ति प्रदायिनी मंत्रमूर्ति सदा देवी महालक्ष्मी नमोऽस्तु ते। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सिय की, आरती श्री शिव शिव शंभो हर 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 शंभो
शिव शिव शंभो हर 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 शंभो
सोमेश्वरा शिव सोमेश्वरा
सोमेश्वरा शिव सोमेश्वरा
मृत्युंजया शिव मृत्युंजया
मृत्युंजया शिव मृत्युंजया
गौरी प्रिया शंकरा शिव गौरी प्रिया शंकरा ओ शिव हर गौरी प्रिया शंकरा शिव शिव शंभो हर 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 शंभो
शिव शिव शंभो हर 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 शंभो
जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी देखो तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति
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 ओ देखो तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी देखो तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति
जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी देखो तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति
ओ देखो तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी देखो तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति
जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी देखो तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति
बोलो बोलो अयोध्या नाथ सियापति रामचंद्र की जय। आसन पर बैठे let us all please be seated. ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय On behalf of our host and our hostess and members of the immediate and extended family, I take this opportunity to welcome one and all. I pay obeisance to the lotus like feet of our beloved Panditji who have performed our worship most diligently. And to all of you, I touch your lotus like feet. To all of those who are viewing and to all of those who are listening to us, we say welcome as well. This evening, as we prepare for Katha, let us bow our heads in prayer as we chant mantras of invocation. Hari Om Sri Ganesha Namah Sri Saraswate Namah Sri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Govinda Namo Namah. Goswami Tulsidas Ji places his pen to work, and in golden words he begins to inscribe the Ramcharitra-manas, the Holy Ramayan. Varnanamrita Sanganam Rasanam Chandrasamapi Mangalanam Chakaritaro Vande Vani Vinayako Bhavani Shankaro Vande Shraddha Vishwaswarupino Yabhyam Vinana Pashanti Siddha Swantastamishwaram Ramayan Sumiran Jo Sumirat Siddha Hoy Ganenayaka Ganivana Vadana Parahuvano Grahasoy Buddhirashi Subhaguna Sadhana Moka hoy bacha कुमारमण करुणा आयन जाहि दीन पढ़ने करहु कृपा मर्दन नयन बंदोहु गुरु परकल कृपा सिंधु नदरूप हरि महामोह तमपो जासु बचन रवि करनी कर बंदोहु पवन कुमार बल पावत ज्ञान कर जासु हृदय आकाश बसहु राम करताप हर श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुराय पद नो रघुवर विमल यश जोदायक पंडिताय भूतहीन तनु जानिके सुमीरो पवन कुमार बल बुध विद्या देहु मुई हरहु कलेश विकार तुलसी अकृत रमायना कथा करहु अनुसार आसन लीजे प्रेम हित आवहु पवन कुमार सिया पवन सुत हनुमान की जय. Before we continue, turn to the person next to you and ask them, how are you? I want you to turn to the person next to you and with a genuine smile, don't pretend, with a genuine smile, look at them and tell them, you're well dressed up. Tell them. Do you know, we go to functions all the time. We go to Yagna, we go to temple, we go to church, we go to mosque. And very seldom we get the opportunity to talk to each other. We see each other, but we never speak to each other. The person sitting next to you should be your best friend for the next 2 hours at least. And so, wherever you are, you must build that mental connection of peacefulness. And then once peacefulness is established, then everything else is smooth sailing. This evening as we prepare to listen to the Katha, the olden Pandits will never read of the Holy Ramayan without singing first. Bando charan kamal raghunandan, Bando charan kamal raghunandan, Bando charan kamal raghunandan. जिनके कृपा सकल सुख संपत्ति,
जिनकी कृपा सकल सुख संपत्ति,
जिनके कृपा सकल सुख संपत्ति,
जिनकी कृपा सकल सुख संपत्ति,
पावत जन बतन उर चंदन,
पावत जन बतन उर चंदन,
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन,
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन।
अवधपुरी प्रभु नित्य विराजत,
अवधपुरी प्रभु नित्य विराजत,
अवधपुरी प्रभु नित्य विराजत,
अवधपुरी प्रभु नित्य विराजत,
जनक सुता युत दुष्ट निकंदन,
जनक सुता युग दुष्ट निकंदन,
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन,
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन।
तीन ताप और जन्म मरण भैया,
तीन ताप और जन्म मरण भय,
तीन ताप और जन्म मरण भैया,
तीन ताप और जन्म मरण भय,
दूर करत छिन्मे जन रंजन,
दूर करत छिन्मे जन रंजन,
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन,
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन।
भक्तन मत चरणन में कृपा करें सेवक भय भंजन
कृपा करे सेवक भय भंजन
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन
बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन
कमल रघुनंदन कमल रघुनंदन कमल रघुनंदन बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन ओ बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन ओ बंदो चरण कमल रघुनंदन श्याम रामचंद्र की जय. Let us put our hands together as we listen to the opening Doha. भयो कोरत अवति सुनाई निरपति रघुरति सोय निरपति रते कह सोय बेपरह भय बन निसिचा मन कौशल्य कठोर महु कौशल्य कठोर सिया पति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम. The Katha takes us into a beautiful place in Ayodhya Kand of the Ramayan. And in Ayodhya Kand, Goswami Tulsidas ji writes, he says, in Ayodhya, it is business as normal. What kind of day did you have? Was it business as normal? What did you do today? Did you do anything out of the ordinary today? How did you spend your day? Some people went to a wedding. Some people went to a funeral. Some people, like Baba, went to a puja. Some people slept for the whole day. Some people, all they were feeling was hot and thirsty. Some people, all they were feeling was hungry and bhogi. Food, food, food. It was business as normal in Ayodhya. And so the Raja and every other being were in their position as they were accustomed to be. Are we all in our position where we are supposed to be? In life, sometimes you sit in positions that you never even dreamed of being able to sit. Sometimes you keep the company of people you never even imagined will be your friends. Have you ever formed an opinion about somebody based on what somebody else told you? And then when you meet the person, it is totally opposite to what they described. I say all the time, sometimes when I hear about me, if I didn't know me, I would have believed it too. Because it sounds so real and so appetizing. Goswami Tulsidas, she says, everybody is in their position, but something is about to happen. What will happen? Listen. He tells us. Jai Ram Shri Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama. Sing with everybody. Jai Ram Shri Rama,
Jai Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama.
Pran बताओ इंद्रियः सकलः विकलः भारी विकलः भारी तन सुर स्थित कहा विनुहीन भारी together जय राम श्री राम
जय जय रामा जय जय रामा श्री राम जय रामा जय जय रामा.
It says the king was on his throne. The queens, they were in their chambers. The servants were busy doing their work. And everybody was occupied doing what they were supposed to do. Tonight, if I were to ask you, are you serving your purpose? What reply will you give? Are we fulfilling the purpose for which God has created us? What will you say? What will you say? Mausi, are you fulfilling your purpose? Are you fulfilling your purpose? Papa, are you fulfilling your purpose? We are all on the pathway to perfection. Is that true? But while on the pathway to perfection, failure will come. Disappointment will come. Challenges will come. Tribulations will come. But those things are not because Bhagwan doesn't like you. Those things are Bhagwan's way of preparing you for what you never even dreamt of. Everybody is occupied, fulfilling their purpose. And so everybody occupied, what will happen? Then suddenly something happens. The king who sits on the throne has now slipped off the throne and he's lying on the ground. And while lying on the ground, he's moaning and he's groaning. And all that is coming out of his lips is Ram, Ram, Ram. A day will come when we'll be lying flat, might not be able to move, might not be able to help ourselves. And we might recognize that death is coming to us. At that time, what will you think of? At that time, what thoughts will come to your mind? Bank account, house, deed, car, children, jewelry. What will come to mind at that time? You go to the cremation site and you hear all the time the bhajan. You know what the bhajan says? Man tum Govinda Govinda bolo. Man tum Govinda Govinda bolo. Govinda 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 bolo. Govinda 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 bolo. Man tum Govinda Govinda bolo. Man tum Govinda Govinda bolo. But the only place you're hearing that is on the cremation site, huh? And the man who is being cremated is already dead. So who is that bhajan being played for? The dead man can't hear nothing, you know. They say, I don't like that bhajan, that dead song. You ever hear that before? There is nothing like a dead song. There is nothing called a dead song. Because the dead man can't hear. The bhajan is for the living. To remind you that death came to somebody else and one day it will come to you. Straighten up. Enjoy life. Time is running out. Enjoy your existence. But you see, we hear the most meaningful bhajans on the cremation site. But you see, when you go to the cremation site, 99% of the time, you're not paying attention to what is happening. Because you're talking. Huh? You're by the trunk drinking a different kind of spirit. And the spirit that you went to pray for gets no prayer. Gets disrespected. Because you're occupied doing what you're not supposed to do. I want to tell you with conviction. The Garupran says to have intoxicants and a place of burial or cremation is a mahapap, a great sin. To have intoxicants in the yard or in a place where murtis are consecrated is a mahapap, a great sin. So when you go to the wedding and you go by the trunk and you don't know if the wedding done or it reached halfway or what going on, because you're by the trunk now. And you see the trunk closed down for itself and squeeze your finger. That's Bhagwan saying it's good for you. Because you didn't go there for that intention. There is a place and a time for everything. Manatuma Govinda, Govinda. Mind of mine, chant the name Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. So that when that comes, I'll be thinking of Govinda. So my soul will get mukti, salvation. But you never pray in your whole life. Then how when you die, you expect to think of God? You never spent any time in worship. Then how when that will come, you will think of God, Bhagwan. It says, Dasarath is on the floor, but Dasarath is calling the name Ram, Ram, Ram. Long ago, we named our children after the Devatas. You remember that? We named our children after the Devatas because chances are when that will come, the children will be close to us. And by calling their name, indirectly we'll be calling the name of Bhagwan, God. And our soul will get mukti, salvation. But in 2023, we don't have that again. The child born in May, so we will name the child June. Huh? And so we have lost our balance and our focus, and we have lost the ethics and the culture and the tradition of our foreparents. It says, Dasarath is lying on the floor, and as Dasarath is moaning and groaning, Ram, 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 what happens? Listen, Goswami Tulsidas Ji writes, Mangala Bhavanaya, Mangala Bhavanaya, Mangala Hari, Prabhu Sudasarata Ajida Bihari, Ajida Bihari Rama, Ajida Bihari Rama, Ajida Prabhu Sudasa Rata Ajida Bihari. Sing with me, everybody. Jai Ram Shri Rama, Jai Ram Shri Rama, Jai Jai Shri Ram, Jai Rama, Jai Jai Kausilyanita Deki Manana, Vibhu Kalarati Kahadi Rahina Jana, Uttara Hadani Dira, Uttara Hadani Dira Rama Mahantra, Bole Bhajan Samaya Asutara, Jai Ram Shri Rama, Jai Ram Shri Rama, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama.
As Dasarath is on the floor, chanting Ram, 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 Dasarath seems to be in pain. Can you tell when somebody is having pain? Can you tell when somebody is having pain? You go to the hospital to see somebody who is warded, and when you look at them, they look absolutely perfect, like nothing is wrong with them. And then when you begin to have conversations with them, they say, I'm looking good outside, you know, but you don't know what really happening inside. Well, I want to tell you that you don't have to go to the hospital only to be told that. Because we live among people who look perfect on the outside. When you look at them, lipstick and powder and high heel and disco dunya shining from head to toe. But inside, they're not happy. Inside, they're very troubled. Inside, turmoil, distress is happening. And though they're smiling with a broad smile, inside they're crying and screaming. And nobody will ever know. Nobody will know. Because when they see you, they see a different thing. The queens, they're summoned. And as the queens come and they look at Dasarath on the floor, frantically they begin to hold and squeeze, and they try to bring some kind of comfort to Dasarath. But what could comfort you at that time? What comfort will come at that time? And so the beautiful thought comes to the mind of Kausalya Devi. Kausalya Devi, she always acted with humility, and she always acted as a true mother will act. Never one day you will hear Mother Kausalya quarreling in the Ramayan. Did you hear? Never one day you'll hear anybody saying that Kausalya Devi made a fuss. Her son Ram was going into the forest. Did she make a fuss? Never once. And so she is the very embodiment of humility and simplicity, Kausalya Devi. Kausalya Devi, she thinks quickly, and so she summons. Who is she calling into the kingdom? The Guru. When we have a problem, who is the first person we go to? When there is trouble, who do we go to? Hello? When you have trouble, who do you go to? Huh? We go by a man who is the great astrologer. We look at the man and we say, look my hand, tell me. In our group, there is a group of adults, senior ladies, that I gravitated towards, and they have not become members of the group, they have become family. All in their 70s and 80s. And when I say 70, I mean almost to the end of 70, beginning of 80. And one of them, she looked at me and she said, hey, I want to tell you something. I said, what? She said, I meet a real good man from India. He could read hand real good. Let me carry on now. So you know I am on board. Anything I am on board. I said, okay, let's go. But there is a condition. I'm not paying. You pay. You carry me, so you pay. From the time I walk into the room and I sit down, the man said, let me see your hand. He said, oh God, trouble. I say, you don't see that? He looked at me, he said, you know your mother-in-law don't like you. I say, yeah, she really, boy, you don't know now. I think that's all mother-in-law. They don't really like their son-in-law. He said, no. Real trouble. She doing all sorts of things to you. And I not even married, by the way. He said, but don't worry. Don't worry. I'll tell you what to do to get rid of this dosh. It is a mother-in-law dosh. I'll tell you what to do. He said, but you want to ask any question while I'm looking at your hand and analyzing these lines? I said, boy, I come. You know why I really come? I want you to tell me we lost our boat. And I don't know where to look for the boat. Can you tell me? He said, the boat in the east. Where you all left it? I said, well, we left it down Cedras. Down. He said, well, the boat somewhere in the east. And they painted over in blue. We don't have no boat, huh? I have no boat. I have no clue what to ask because there is a calendar up on the wall and I saw the boat. And it came to my mind, boat. And I said that. And he said to me, well, there are certain things you have to do, and you have to take a bath, and you have to do this, and then everything will fall into place. I look at my hand, I say, pay quick, let's go. You see, when you have trouble, you spend your energy and your time doing the foolish things, and not the thing necessarily that will help you to overcome your trouble. You do the things and you spend your energy and your effort in the beings who make your little problem into a bigger one. And very seldom we take our problem to Bhagwan. When the Chela calls the Baba already knows what is happening, you know. I don't know about Pandit, but when I see the number calling, you know, I answer the phone. I say, who dead? Because there's some people only call you when there is a death. So automatically I know how to answer. It says Kausalya Devi, she has now hinted that the Guru should come into the kingdom. And as the Guru is summoned and brought into the kingdom, what will happen? Dasarath lying on the floor, his life is flashing before his eyes. If you have to relive or to look at your life, your past life, what kind of memories will you have? Sometimes you sit down and you remember something from your childhood and all you do is smile, isn't it? And sometimes you sit down and you remember something from your childhood and you just get angry. And sometimes a memory comes and you feel to cry, isn't it? Dasharat's life is flashing in front of him, and Dasharat is seeing something. What is he seeing? Listen, Goswami Tulsidas ji writes, Jai Ram Shri Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama. Sing with me. Jai Ram Shri. Everybody sing with me.
Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Rama Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Priya Bhajan Mridu Sutanit Chai, Antikar Urataha Talpat Pai, Talpat Pai, Mena Hamalani Janasi Chata, Titala Hane Kar Dehina Brata, Dehina Brata. Sing with me, everybody. Jai Ram Shri. I want to hear you. Jai Jai Shri Ram, Jai Jai. Turn up your volume a little more, everybody. Jai Jai Rama. Everybody. Jai Ram Shri Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama. Dasharat slightly opens his eyes, and Dasharat using his hand as though words can't come out of his mouth, and he is trying to write and say what he wants to say. But nobody is understanding what Dasharat is trying to say. And unable to comprehend, as the Guru comes, Dasharat seeing his life flashing in front of him. What is he seeing? Dasharat is seeing himself as young. As young. Have you ever seen somebody on the day of their funeral and they look young? And you say they look real nice, isn't it? That's why I don't want you to wait until the person next to you is dead to say they're nice. I tell you, tell them that they're nice and they're looking good and they appreciate it when they could hear it. In a funeral, they stand up and reading a long eulogy about how good you was, and while you're living, you're real bad. Huh? The best man you could find is a dead man, you all know? Everybody want to talk about you when you're done dead. Nobody eulogizes you when you're alive. They torment you, they frustrate you, they embarrass you, they insult you, they degrade you, they do all sorts of things to you. But when you're dead, they say he did over nice. She was real over good. Huh? But you have to be dead first. As a life flashes, he's seeing himself as a young boy. And he's seeing himself with the bow and the arrow. And he's seeing himself in the forest. But seeing himself in the forest, the sun is hot. And so seeing this reacting, happening, what will happen? Dasharat knows exactly what happened that day. He knows exactly what happened. And knowing what happens, listen, it tells us, Jai Ram Shri Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama.
Jai Ram Shri Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Baya Bhikal Vrata Itihas Dekhi, Rama Harati Kaha Jeevat Dekhi, Jeevat Dekhi, Sotan Ragi Ho Kar Bahmai, Jahi Prem Paramohi Nehi Nabhai, Nehi Nabhai. Everybody, Jai Ram Shri Rama,
Jaya Jaya
the forest. The place is hot and he's hunting. Have you ever hunted before? You don't have to go in the forest to hunt, you know. You know that? Many a times we are all hunting and on a hunt. You ever hide something and you can't find it? And you have to hunt down the whole house to find it? Before I came, I had a hunt. I had to hunt to look for my glasses. I looked everywhere frantically for the glasses. And then I realized I have it on. I'm soaking wet, looking everywhere for the glasses. And I have it on. Have you ever experienced that? You ever gone in the bathroom to bathe and you have on your glasses? Huh? It says he's hunting. But what is he hunting for? Every one of us, at some point in our life, we begin to hunt. But we are hunting for material things. We are hunting for things that will make us happy physically. But what have we done to make us happy emotionally and spiritually and eternally? What have we done? It says, Dasarath is hunting, and while out in the heat, he has caught absolutely nothing. Not every day will be a good day, you know. You all know that? I want you to tell the person next to you, not every day will be a good day. Tell them. You all vexed with each other? Tell each other. Not every day will be a good day. Papa, tell Swami, he way down in the back. Not every day is going to be a good day. What preparations have we made mentally for when our days are not good? What preparations have we made for when the not so good days come? You see the day you have, and the day you could help, and the day you could do, and the day you could give. Everybody like you, you know. The day you can't help yourself, you know what happened? Your suffering and your problem is yours, you know. I spoke last year during our Bhagavad. I got a call from Pandit Ramdat Vyas. And Panditji said to me, he said, son, I want to tell you something. I said, what, Baba? He said, grieving to come in the Bhagavad. And I said, really? I said, well, let me send a driver for you. He said, I can't make, boy. I can't make. He said, but when I sit down to watch you, I'm seeing me. And I want to tell you, don't make the mistake that I made. Learn from me. He's telling me, learn from me. He said, because in my up days and my singing days and my sitting on the Singhasan days, I have plenty friends. But you see, in my down days, then I know who my friends really are. You don't know your friends in your happy days. You know your friends in your challenging days. In the days when you're down, that's the day that you know your friend. It says, Dasarath, he's hunting and he caught absolutely nothing. But unable to catch anything, quickly night comes. Sometimes when you're busy, time goes and you have no clue where the time went, isn't it? And so quickly the night comes. But Dasarath, he doesn't want to go back empty-handed. A day will come when we will be leaving empty-handed. Did you give thought to that? Well, not if I do the funeral. I put a pinna in your hand. But a day will come when we'll be taking nothing with us. And so Dasarath, as night comes, a clever thought comes to the mind of Dasarath. What thought? Listen, it tells us, Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju bai. Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju bai.
Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju bhai. Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju bhai.
Baya bekal vrat de dihasa, raat hai din kah jeevat aasa, karta intelligent. Unable to catch any animals during the day, he knew that all the animals will go back to their places of rest, back to their homes, the places where they live. But he knows that before they go, you know what they will do? They will come to drink water at the river. He knew that they will drink some water. Many a times you and I, some of us will refrain from drinking water just before we go to bed. You know why? We don't want to get up in the night. But some people like me, we drink a lot of water even before you go to your bed. And so, having this clever thought, he stood behind a tall tree, hiding there, but where he could see the river. And so, able to see what will happen. Tired, he's leaning up. When you get tired, what do you do? What do you do when you get tired? Our Ajis and Ajas and from the past, they were very intelligent people, you know. They will get some pieces of wood and they will nail up a little bed and they will call it a cot. You all know? And they'll put it outside somewhere where they'll get breeze. You all know? And anytime they get tired in the day, they will go and they will lie down there. Isn't it? They will get a feed bag and they will sew it. Or they will get a bed sheet and they will double it and tie it and they'll make a hammock. And anytime they got tired, they will go in there and take a rest. You all remember that? In 2023, it's called a reclining chair. You can't sit there until you bathe. Bathe first. Wash your foot and scrub between your toes. Don't put your foot on my couch. Huh? Don't lie down with your sweaty self on the bed. Go and bathe. The bed go smell like you. Huh? Well, if that's the bed you're sleeping in, who you want to smell like? And we have all the luxuries and the comfort now. And we uncomfortable. No comfort again. There is no comfort. It says, Dasharat, he goes and hiding behind the tree, he's looking. But as he looks, he didn't see anything. So leaning up out of tiredness, in a distance he begins to hear the gobbling sound as though an animal is drinking water. You ever hear how the dog drinks the water? How it sounds? If you put an empty bottle down in the water, how does it sound? Very similar, isn't it? You hear the gulp, gulp. Actually, there's some people drink like that too, you know. There's some people, when they're eating, you have to know that they're eating from a distance. They knock the plate with a spoon. And then they take the spoon and they knock it to their teeth too. When you're next to them, I don't know how to describe it. Your teeth edging too. Huh? There's some people when they chew in, you hear them from a distance. They don't chew quietly and soft. They chew. I don't know about you. If I get on the telephone with you and you chewing on the next side, I think my pressure goes up. I don't know if that's only me. Did I just tell that? I don't know about you. Eating is something that must be done elegantly. Eating is something that must be done gracefully. You must enjoy your food. You must enjoy it. Sharon said to me, I rush her in the night time. And she doesn't get to eat properly. So she doesn't sit to eat. And I went home last night after she told me that. And I couldn't sleep because I say she probably hungry and it's because of me. And I'm never in a rush. And it troubled me. Thinking that because of me, eating didn't happen. And that's not what I stand for. It says, Dasharat, hearing the gobbling sound without looking, Dasharat aims the arrow. And as he aims the arrow, what will happen? Priya vachanah kaha vidutah santa chalahu nehi chor nahi danta adhika nahi chor dehi sunai raja sunat kahani bal bhai Rama bhaju Rama bhaju Rama bhaju bhai Rama bhaju Rama bhaju You ever start to talk about somebody and then they walk in the room? Or you ever talking about somebody and you didn't realize they're right behind you or in front of you? What happens then? And I want to tell you, we are all guilty, me too. Because you know why? We're Trinidadians. We like to talk and then think. We don't look around and it just comes out naturally. It says, Dasrat, he doesn't look, but he shoots. And then Dasrat, me chod nahi. The bean begins to scream, I am not a thief, I am not a thief, I am no thief. Kaun ho tum? Who has shot me? Who are you? Who are you? Dasrat, hearing the voice of a human being and recognizing that he has shot a human and not an animal, Dasrat rushes across the river. But as he rushes across the river, he's holding in his hand a young boy. And holding in his hand a young boy who he has shot with his own arrow. The being looks at him. And the being, dying as it were, he begins to speak. And you know what he's telling Dasrat? He's dying. And listen to what he's telling Dasrat. What will you be, if you have a choice or a chance to talk when death comes, what will you be saying? Huh? What will you be saying? The key for the vault over there. Huh? And I hide this over there. What will you be saying? Dasrat. He's hearing the words. What is he saying? Listen to what he's saying. Mata pita kaha andekar hoi, ande ho anda ho dehi na soi, tum binu jata kahari na beta, ati kahari kar dehi na deta, Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju bai, Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju bai.
Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju bhai. Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju bhai.
Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju bai. Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju bai.
Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju bhai. Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju, Rama bhaju bhai.
Ram Shri Ram. He says, my mother and my father, they're depending on me. For both of them, they are blind. I am their hands, I am their legs, I am their eyes, I am the very source of their life. Which parent could say that about their children? Which parent could say that about their child? My child is my eye, my child is my ears, my child is my hand, my child is my leg, my child is my very support. Which parent could say that? On the night of Krishna Janma, in our group there is a lady who is blind. And when I say blind, I mean blind. She cannot see at all. We're sitting up on the stage, stairs you have to climb, and up on the stage. And I just said that Bhagwan Krishna has manifested, and so everybody will get an opportunity to shake the palna. And the first person to jump up is the blind lady. And I'm singing Krishna ki palna junave nandarani, Krishna ki palna junave, julave nandarani, julave nandar. And she's asking, can you take me up? And the people who have eye, sit down. The people who could move on their own and see everything, sit down. And I had to call them by their name and say, come now, shake the palna. Shake the palna, come. Take a chance now, shake the palna. But I have to call them. They say many are called. And sometimes you call and you're up in front, but your ignorance doesn't remind you that you are chosen. Your focus is not on what it is supposed to be. And so, He's saying, I'm not a thief, but I'm the support and the strength of my mother and father, and they're both blind. Please, I'm begging you. I might die, but they're thirsty. Take the water for them. And as soon as he utters those words, mar gaya, he dies. Raja Dasrath is taking this pot with the water. And Raja Dasrath is walking. But making his way there, Raja Dasrath is wondering what he will say. Have you ever had to give bad news? How do you give bad news? Raja Dasrath goes. And Raja Dasrath pours the water in the palm of his hand and he begins to feed them. But they know that this is not their son. When you have a deficiency in one sense, the other sense is sharpened. Do you know this? So a person who is not able to see clearly might be able to hear clearly. A person who is not able to hear clearly might be able to see good. And so when one is deprived, the other becomes sharp. There are some people, they're just sharp. They could hear good, they could see good, they could smell good, they could talk good. It says, as he begins to feed the water, the mother says, who are you? You are not my son. Tell me. And Dasrath, summing up his courage, he says, oh Mata. He's addressing her as Mata. And he's addressing her as Mata out of regret. Oh Mata, I am Raja Dasrath, the king. By mistake, I shot an arrow and it pierced through the heart of your son. But I have made the vow to your son that I will look after you in his absence. You could go anywhere, but the bed they put you to sleep on will never be like the bed you're accustomed to home, isn't it? You say, I could go anywhere, I like my bed. You ever say that before? I like my pillow. There are a million glasses and cups in the house, but there is one particular one that you like to drink in, isn't it? There are a million plates in the house, but they only have one plate that you like to eat in. The buffet full of plates. You go ahead and leave that right there. You all know about the buffet? I came to awakening about the buffet when my grandmother died. My mother and everybody else lives abroad. And when they came for the funeral, 2 days after the funeral, I see boxes being packed and all the wares being emptied from the buffet. And I said, Ma, what is happening? And she said, who gonna clean all that? And I said, Ma, Mama is going to roll out of her grave. Why are you doing this? You're supposed to wait until the bandara. She said, I have pondered before you. And there are plate and cup that we shine and wipe with guardian paper so it will shine to put back in the buffet. I remember as a child. And that's why I came to the consciousness in my home there will be no buffet. With no wares put away anywhere. Under no bed, in no cupboard, and nowhere else. Everything make to use. Use everything. And we don't have 50. We have just enough. And it doesn't matter if we have gas, we're using sanitary. Less work to wash. And anytime I realize we have more than enough, I give away. And anytime I go to your home and I see a buffet and I realize you have more than enough, I take some to give away too. Ask anybody who knows me and they will tell you, I go in your buffet and I take a glass and I take a plate and I carry it for somebody who don't have. Because genuinely there are people who don't have. We have, and everywhere we see, we still buy. There's some wives, everywhere they go, their Rasi name is mat. They had to buy a mat. There's some wives and some husbands, their Rasi name is pot. Anywhere they go, they see a pot. They pick up a pot. Huh? Auntie is saying it's a good thing I have no wife. Don't worry, I'll train her. We only need the mat that we need. And we only need the mat that could wash in the washing machine because the next Rasi is lazy. It says, Raja Dasrath telling both of them, they begin to speak. They're speaking out of grief and anger. Their speech is clouded with grief and anger. How do you think they will talk? Lovingly? What do you think they will say? You know what they say to Dasrath? You have caused pain to us. And by taking away our son from us, you will cause our demise or death. But I wish for you the very same thing, that your son will be taken from you and death will come to you because of this. Dasrath hearing this, Dasrath forgets about this. But now that his pran, his life is about to leave, Dasrath is remembering the shrap. He's remembering the curse. What will happen? Listen, the Katha tells us finally. Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Ehi Raghunandana, Priti Kahare ki. तुम बिन बहुत दिन कहाँ बीती, दिन कहाँ बीती। जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम। मंगल भवनय अमंगल हारी, द्रवहु सुदशरथ अजीर बिहारी, अजीर बिहारी। जय राम श्री राम,
जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम, जय जय राम।
Dasarath's life leaves his body. Ram, 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 he's chanting and his life leaves. But listen to what he's remembering. He's remembering the curse, the bad thing, the shrap. This is what he's remembering. Live your life in such a way that good memories will come. Live your life in such a way that when you remember, a smile automatically will come. Live your life in such a way that when you leave, you are leaving behind pleasant memories for others too. See a pleasant memory? The earring hook up in the clothes, and then when she gets it out of the clothes, it hook up in the mala, and then she's fighting, and then it hook up in the dantar. Pleasant memory. Pleasant. Something that will make you smile when you think about it. Something that will make you happy when you think about it. In the Ramayan Goswami, Tulsidas ji writes, you know what he says? You know what he says? Anything and anybody that takes away your peace of mind and your happiness, throw them behind you and walk in front. But you have to put it behind you, because you know why? Every time you see, you'll be reminded. And you don't want to be reminded of bad things. You want to only embrace good things. You only want to embrace positive things. Dasrath, he has died. But Dasrath has remembered the bad thing that he did. A day will come when we'll all have to give an account for the good and the bad things we have done. Tonight, ask yourself, am I serving my purpose? Am I fulfilling my duty? And am I living and enjoying my existence? Syavara Ramachandra ki Jai. This has brought us to the end of our Katha. Sindra sings for us the beautiful bhajan at this time. Panditji performs the Havan after he untangles our Shrota from her dilemma.
बनारस राजा जयबो मैं ना जाऊंगी, मैं ना जाऊंगी रे, मैं ना जाऊंगी, मैं ना जाऊंगी रे, मैं ना जाऊंगी। बनारस राजा हो बनारस राजा हो बनारस राजा जयबो मैं ना जाऊंगी, बनारस राजा जयबो मैं ना जाऊंगी, मैं ना जाऊंगी रे, मैं ना जाऊंगी, मैं ना जाऊंगी रे, मैं ना जाऊंगी। बनारस राजा जयबो मैं ना जाऊंगी। बनारस जयबो तो साड़ी लिए वो, बनारस जयबो तो साड़ी लिए वो। बनारस जयबो तो साड़ी लिए वो, कमर धर पे ले वो मैं ना पहनूंगी, कमर धर पे ले वो मैं ना पहनूंगी, कमर धर पे ले वो मैं ना पहनूंगी। बनारस राजा जयबो मैं ना जाऊंगी। बनारस जयबो तो चोली लिए वो, बनारस जयबो तो चोली लिए वो। बनारस जयबो तो चोली लिए वो, सीताधर पे ले वो मैं ना पहनूंगी, सीताधर पे ले वो मैं ना पहनूंगी, सीताधर पे ले वो मैं ना पहनूंगी। बनारस राजा हो बनारस राजा जयबो मैं ना जाऊंगी। मैं ना जाऊंगी रे, मैं ना जाऊंगी, मैं ना जाऊंगी रे, मैं ना जाऊंगी। बनारस राजा जयबो मैं ना जाऊंगी। बनारस जयबो अंगूठी लिए वो, बनारस जयबो अंगूठी लिए वो। बनारस जयबो अंगूठी लिए वो, हमोधर पे ले वो मैं ना पहनूंगी, हमोधर पे ले वो मैं ना पहनूंगी, हमोधर पे ले वो मैं ना पहनूंगी। बनारस राजा हो बनारस राजा आई बनारस राजा जयबो मैं ना जाऊंगी, बनारस राजा जयबो मैं ना जाऊंगी, मैं ना जाऊंगी रे, मैं ना जाऊंगी, मैं ना जाऊंगी रे, मैं ना जाऊंगी। बनारस राजा हो बनारस राजा जयबो मैं ना जाऊंगी, बनारस राजा जयबो मैं ना जाऊंगी, बनारस राजा जयबो मैं ना जाऊंगी।
चितवनिया में नैना लगाए हो राम,
चितवनिया में नैना लगाई आयो राम,
चितवनिया में नैना लगाए हो राम,
चितवनिया में नैना लगाई आयो राम,
लगाए हो राम, लगाए हो राम,
लगाई आयो राम, लगाई आयो राम,
लगाए हो राम, लगाए हो राम।
लगाई आयो राम, लगाई आयो राम।
चितवनिया में नैना लगाए हो राम,
चितवनिया में नैना लगाई आयो राम,
ki jai. This has brought us to the end of our devotion this evening. But before we all join in the Aarti, I'm going to ask Panditji to give his blessings. I did not give him a chance last night. I apologize, Baba. Can you please come? Give your Ashavad.
प्रेम से बोलो श्री भगवती शक्ति माता की, सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की, व्यास महाराज की. So devotees, let's give Babaji a round of applause too. And again to the members of the group, again please, another one. So we're keeping it very interactive, right? So Bhaji, Panditji, again to thank you very much for the opportunity. Again, devotees, of course, we are all tremendously blessed indeed. It is my pleasure, of course, to represent, of course, to the family, of course, the Guru, the Pandit of the home, and of course, on their behalf as well, thank you all for being here last night, for those who were here last night, of course, tonight, and of course, we look forward to having you tomorrow night as well, as we close these wonderful 3 nights. For those who may not know, of course, but just letting it out, but of course, this was a special wish of this family, more so for the father Ved, of course, I don't think it's much of a secret, but this is especially to Babaji, of course, a tribute for his birthday. But we keep all the festivities, of course, for tomorrow. But again, Auntie Rukmini too, of course, tonight also, I think she will also be doing some honoring of that too, with the traditional, the Sohar, the traditional songs for that. So again, devotees, to a lusty round of applause again for as we celebrate the birthday of the Father's home. Let's say a nice round of applause again too. Are we telling them how young? We telling them how young? Tomorrow everything will come out, right? But of course, this is it. Devotees, I don't want to again to be too long. But again, Panditji, thank you for the opportunity. I will just join. We're just going to offer a prayer. All I simply pray, of course, for the blessings of the Divine Mother, Adi Shakti. Of course, you would have with this special worship, the honoring and the offering of the bali, the sacrifice of the coconut. Today is a day of the Divine Mother. And may the Divine Mother Mahashakti Bhagavati bless us all. Indeed, we are children of that universal Mother. So let's all join together as we pray. May she rid us of all that is negative. May she destroy all afflictions, all negativities, all impurities. May she continue to protect us, protect our home, our family, the country, the entire world. We all pray. Om Namo Devye Mahadevye Shivaye Satatam Nama Nama Prakrite Bhadraye Niyata Pranata Smatam Om Jai Tvam Devi Chamunde Jai Bhutarti Harini Jai Sarve Gate Devi Kalratri Namostute Om Namaschandekaya Namah Om Dum Durgai Namah Om Aing Hring Kling Chamunde Viche. Blessings of the Divine Mother to us all. And of course, devotees, the katha that Panditji has rendered. Again, too, let us also remember to the lesson of karma. You know, as the saying goes, we know it all too well, devotees too. Jai se karani, vai se barani. You see what Raja Dashrath, of course, too. In the younger days, look at what he, of course, committed. And you see it came around too. This is why too we would have heard Panditji mention. This is why Dashrath, in his last moments, it flashed before him. He too was reminded of the karmas that he performed in his younger days. As a result, this is why he too had to go through that demise. Dying of a broken heart, of course, too, and losing his beloved Sri Ram. So devotees, again, let us also be, so that is the message too. Let us be conscious too of the karmas we perform. I always say it very simply, you know, be careful. You know, we have come to practice, of course, to perform the good karmas. The more good you do will help to erase those bad ones. So devotees, so this is a good start. This is where indeed it happens. The more time you spend in satsang and devotion and prayer, that helps to erase those bad karmas. So God bless you and thank you for being here. We look forward again to having you tomorrow night. Adi Shakti Devi Mata ki. Bless you all.
Syavara Ramachandra ki jai. Khara ho jaye, Aarti diji. Let us all please stand as we join in the closing Aarti. Shubham karotu kalyanam arogyam sukasam param mama shatru vinashaya deepa jyotir namostute siddhi buddhi prade devi bhukti mukti pradayani mantra multi sara devi mahalakshmi namostute. Together. Ram Ram bhaju Ram Ram bhaju Ram Ram bhaju Ram 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 Siya Ram bhajane Ram Ram Siya Ram bhaju Ram Ram Siya Ram bhaju Ram Ram Siya Ram. दशरथ जी के पुत्र कहाए जनकपुरी में शिवरन तोरा सती सिया संग नाता जोरा सिया पिया बन राम प्रभु कहलाए सीताराम बजु राम राम सिया राम बजु राम राम सिया राम. Sing it everybody. Ram Ram bhaju Ram Ram bhaju Ram Ram bhaju Ram 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 Siya Ram bhajne Ram Ram Siya Ram bhaju Ram Ram Siya Ram bhaju Ram Ram Siya Ram. पिता वचन की पाल नहारे राजपात को बन को सितारे विश्वामित्र की यज्ञ रखवाने सती अहिल्या तारन हारे पंचवती को बना दिया एक धर्म का दान बजु राम राम सिया राम बजु राम राम सिया राम. Sing it everybody. Ram Ram bhaju Ram Ram bhaju Ram Ram bhaju Ram 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 Siya Ram bhajne Ram Ram Siya Ram bhaju Ram Ram Siya Ram bhaju Ram Ram Siya Ram.
असुरों को संहार मार कर सीता सहित चले लंका पर अभिमानी रावण को मारा सीता को संकट से उबारा राम राज हो गया देश में गुण गाए हनुमान भजु राम राम सिया राम भजु राम राम सिया राम.
Ram Ram bhaju Ram Ram bhaju Ram Ram bhaju Ram 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 Siya Ram bhajne Ram Ram Siya Ram bhaju Ram Ram Siya Ram bhaju Ram Ram Siya Ram bhaju Ram bhaju Ram bhaju Ram bhaju Ram
भजु राम भजु राम भजु राम भजु राम
bhaju Ram bhaju Ram bhaju Ram bhaju Ram
भजु राम भजु राम भजु राम भजु राम.
राम से बड़ा राम का नाम
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 बजु राम बजु राम बजु राम बजु राम
भजु राम भजु राम भजु राम भजु राम
बजु राम बजु राम बजु राम बजु राम मनसिन्द्रियर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृति स्वभावात् करोमि यज्ञात् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि मन्त्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनार्दन यत्पूजितं मया देवा परिपूर्णं तदस्तमे त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। जय श्री राम हरे प्रभु जय श्री राम हरे प्रभु जय श्री राम हरे प्रभु जय श्री राम हरे कृष्ण हरे प्रभु जय श्री कृष्ण हरे प्रभु जय श्री कृष्ण हरे
जय श्री कृष्ण हरे प्रभु जय श्री कृष्ण हरे प्रभु जय श्री कृष्ण हरे प्रभु जय श्री कृष्ण हरे
उमापति महादेव की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय
अयोध्या राम लला की जय वृंदावन कृष्ण चंद्र की जय पूरे सागर राज की जय गुरु है सब सकल की जय सियापति रामचंद्र की जय शरणम।
श्यावर रामचंद्र की turn to each other, tell each other सीताराम 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 हरे चाहे विधि रखे रामा
चाहे विधि रामे रामा चाहे विधि रहे सीताराम 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 सीताराम
रामचंद्र भगवान की सत्य सनातन धर्म की। Before you sit, now tell each other, God bless you. Let's all be seated. Let's all be seated. The Aarti is about to come. The Panchamrit, the Parsad, meals are provided for all. Everybody is going to eat tonight. Sharon, including you. We're all going to eat tonight. So, ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारियो वैसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी
भक्त हितकारी ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारी
ऐसे हमरे राम भक्त हितकारियो वैसे हमरे राम सीताराम गोविंदा राधे गोपाल
सीताराम गोविंदा राधे गोपाल
सीताराम गोविंदा राधे गोपाल
सीताराम गोविंदा राधे गोपाल
राधे गोपाल राधे गोपाल
राधे गोपाल राधे गोपाल
राधे गोपाल श्यामा गोपाल
राधे गोपाल श्यामा गोपाल
सीताराम गोविंदा राधे गोपाल
सीताराम गोविंदा राधे गोपाल
गणेश शरणम शरणम गणेशा
गणेश शरणम शरणम गणेशा
गणपति बापा मोरिया
गणपति बाबा मोरिया
गणपति बापा मोरिया
गणपति बाबा मोरिया
सीताराम गोविंदा राधे गोपाल
सीताराम गोविंदा राधे गोपाल
All right, in keeping with the katha, I want to dedicate the song. Well, you know, Roma is my dantalist for Sangeet Milan Entertainment Band. That is why she's sitting there with the dantal. And Vido is my Rocky brother, so I have to sing to her fame after this song. But this one is in keeping with the katha, which says we must not allow ourselves to be run away by illusion or taken over by illusion. हो जा राम नाम का पक्का लोभी क्या माया में रखा हो जा राम नाम का